Welcome back to The Outright Effect, a podcast in which unique perspectives challenge us to be better versions of ourselves. We're two ambitious women who talk about how we like to stretch our creativity and work on self-growth to become better people. I'm Tempsy.
And I'm Shelly.
And today we're going to talk all things holiday. It's the holiday season, so exciting. As Shelly nicely reminded me with my Christmas gift last year, it is my holiday. I'm taking it for my own. But we actually, right now we're recording just after Thanksgiving. So, Shelly, how did your Thanksgiving go?
My Thanksgiving, I think last year when we talked about this, I might have mentioned then that, Thanksgiving as far as my family and stuff goes is pretty like low key. I have a small family here. There's only like 5 of us total, honestly. And if more people were involved, there would be like airline flights involved as well, because people live on different islands and we don't have a road that you can just drive across the ocean on or anything like that. So yeah, it's a small Thanksgiving. So I feel like to some degree it was kind of the same as far as my family goes, right? I mean, obviously there are other elements to it that were different. This year I cooked a turkey. It was gigantic. I was scared. It was 24 pounds. I got it for free from the company that I work for. They gave out turkeys to all of us who work there, which was pretty cool. But yeah, we basically just had to drive over to like the building and pick it up. They threw it in our car. I didn't know how heavy it was going to be until I got home. And we took it out of the car and Chris is like, hurry up, walk faster. This thing is really heavy. And then after it was in the fridge, I was like, it's got to say how heavy this is, right? Somewhere on here, like a tag. And I'm like, oh, this sucker's 24 pounds. And then, of course, after that, I got a little bit concerned about like, what's this going to be like? How long does it have to thaw? How long are we going to have to cook it for and all that stuff? But I guess I will say I'm lucky enough to have the convection setting on my oven, which cut it down by 2 hours. So, looking up and doing the math, it was supposed to take 6 hours, but it took 4 hours instead, which is still quite a bit of time. But yeah, and actually after we stuck a thermometer in it, it seemed like it was like, they say cook it up until it gets to like this temperature. It was hotter than what it said we should look for. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That means I could have taken it out earlier, I guess, but it was so big. We're just like, just keep it in there. Like, I don't want to take it out too early or like mess around with it. And then it takes extra time. But yeah, basically what we did is we took it out, we cut it up and we dropped it off at our family's houses. Because obviously right now it's still a pandemic, not the best case to have a huge family gathering, which, the other side does normally do. So, yeah, I dropped off turkey to my parents, Chris's parents, and we made, stuff for his siblings and stuff too. My dog was very interested in this turkey. So I think it turned out good. I will honestly say though that, my dad really liked it. He's like, what'd you put in there? Which honestly, I looked up on YouTube because this is only the second turkey we've ever cooked. The first one, we did the same thing. We basically looked up like easy turkey recipe on YouTube or something, ridiculous like that. And it was like the first video that popped up. It has like almost 4 million views on it, which I'm sure we've contributed to quite a few of those views because, you can't just watch this one time, right? You're like watching it to make sure it's okay. Oh yeah, it looks easy enough. And then you watch it again to make sure you understand what's going on. And then when you're doing it, you're like watching it again, right? So,
yep.
But clearly a popular video.
Yes.
And I feel like it went okay. It was kind of funny because we gave everyone else like, I would say probably people consider like the good parts of the turkey, the part that had like the seasoning directly on it, but I mean, it's easy. It's basically like butter, salt, pepper, sage, and rosemary. And then you just throw it in the oven and you don't do anything to it while it's in there. That's why we've chose it because it's like low maintenance and easy. I don't want to do any of this basting the turkey thing. I just want to throw it in there and call it a day. Yeah. So
what's funny though is I've never cooked a turkey. And
Mm-hmm.
most of our listeners know I went to culinary school and I've never cooked a turkey. And then I think you and I were talking about it last year and I was like, oh, maybe I should try it. And she's like, you're like, why? You don't eat it. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, that's right. I don't eat turkey.
Like, what are you gonna do with it? But
Oops.
yeah. So yeah, it went okay. That's really all we made. We really just made the turkey and like dropped it off, and we said it from the beginning, like to everybody, like that's all you're getting. Like we're not doing anything else. You're just getting the turkey. But what I realized is, I think because it was so huge, I don't know. I like did not want to eat turkey after that. I was like, this is crazy. I
Yeah.
stared at this like 24-pound turkey like way too long. I don't want anything to do with it.
You didn't eat it at all?
No, I did. I did eat it, but like, right after that, like for dinner, I was like, I don't want to eat this thing. Like, I'm sick of it already. It's been in the house. I've been smelling it for like how many hours today? I don't want anything to do with it.
Did you get any sides or make any sides with it?
We didn't. Honestly, we didn't. Chris's mom did. She made some sides, and his brother's family also like they made ham and like green bean casserole and I think some other stuff too. So it like at the end of the day, it all came together. I mean, honestly,
Right.
so what I did was I cheated. I literally like steamed frozen vegetables and I dropped it off to my parents like that because like I don't know. I was like, you know what, there was a lot of other work that went into this. I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't know if my parents had made themselves anything other than, frozen vegetables and turkey. But
Right.
I did take some to my grandma too.
Well,
And
that's good.
yeah, I just gave her enough
Well,
because she lives by herself, right? So I just gave her enough
yeah.
for like, dinner that day, probably like lunch the next day, and maybe a little bit more. But
What a
yeah.
nice daughter and granddaughter.
I know. I was like, I'm getting rid of this thing. That's way too much turkey. Everybody gets some. Just take it all. I don't want it. Yeah. What about
Well,
you?
for us, like I told my husband ahead of time, I'm gonna be cooking all day, so just be aware. So in the morning, because we have to care for our son, like we have to take him out for exercise, we have to do things with him. So I
Hmm.
told my husband, like, he's all yours for Thanksgiving because I'm gonna be cooking. I did let him help a little bit when I was baking cookies in the morning. I usually make these like salted caramel, kind of like sugar cookies, or what are they called with the cinnamon sugar on the outside? I can't remember. But anyways, I made a bunch of those, but I tried it first with almond flour.
Wait, are you talking about snickerdoodles?
Yes,
Okay.
salted caramel snickerdoodles is basically what they are. Thank you.
Okay.
But I tried almond flour first, and it's not as finely ground as all-purpose flour. So it just did not turn out at all. It just turned into like one flat big cookie on a big baking sheet. So we scraped it off. It's still edible. I'm just gonna eat it because it's made out of almond flour, and we use monk fruit sweetener, so it's like not terrible for you. I mean, it's still not great for you, but I figured that'll be my treat for the holidays. And then I made a triple batch with regular flour. I just wanted to see how the almond flour would work, and not a good idea. So then I spent basically half the morning doing that, jumped on a Zoom call with my family while they were eating like regular Thanksgiving lunch while I was baking cookies. And then once the cookies were kind of done and like cleaned up, I started Thanksgiving dinner. And for me, my plan was I'm gonna make a green bean casserole for the first time. I've never made one before. And I'm going to make mashed potatoes and then maybe like a salad with beets on it because I had some beets. And for the main course, because we don't eat a whole lot. We're not vegan, we're pescatarian, but we eat fish all the time. So I wanted something a little bit special. And there's this vegan Chinese restaurant out here that serves vegan orange chicken, and it like tastes and has like the mouth feel, the crunchiness of actual orange chicken. The closest thing you could possibly get. I really hope it's vegan, like it tastes that good. And and we had that with some like sizzling tofu that they sell, and the sizzling tofu has a lot of sauce, so we put it over the mashed potatoes. So we had like this modge podge of food. It was really good. But the green bean casserole, like I kind of doctored up the recipe to what we normally like, and it was really good. It It was super
Cool.
good. I'm not gonna lie. Not to toot my own horn, but it was really good.
You know what? It's funny because and I was thinking the other day that I would mention this when we're recording, like specifically about green bean casserole. So similarly for me to Brussels sprouts, like I never ate Brussels sprouts like as a child. It was more like a thing I found out what it was like as an adult. Same thing with like hummus and like that kind of stuff, right? So green bean casserole is like another one of those things, which I know like, and I know like on Chris's side and stuff like that, I think they normally like it's a regular Thanksgiving thing, but I think, and I think I mentioned this last year too when we were talking about holidays and traditions and stuff. Like I think because my family was so small, like only a few of us were there, we weren't trying to make a ton of extra sides because like who's going to eat it really? Like, you know, that's too much food at that point. But like so I would say like I do like green bean casserole, but my like the way that I used to eat green beans as a kid was way, way, way more plain. So I like green beans in general, but honestly, the way I used to eat green beans as a kid was like, I feel like my mom or my grandma would just like boil it or steam it and I would eat it plain, like just like that. And I didn't actually have it with like stuff on it until like, you know, I wouldn't say recently, but definitely like as an adult. So I first saw it in a casserole, like, oh, I can see how that works. But I'm like, I've never actually had green beans with like things on it before. Like plain green beans is all I had. Yeah.
Same here, you know, I never ate the green bean casserole because it just I didn't really understand it as a kid. And so I don't remember ever eating it. I probably have, but I don't remember it being like this fantastic thing that
like an iconic side dish for Thanksgiving thing, right? Yeah.
I think because my aunt never made it, and we always went to her house, and she made a lot of other amazing things that we wouldn't want replaced with the green bean casserole anyway. So I just don't think I ever had it, but I was like, oh, I want to try it. Why not? And then I did, and it turned out pretty good.
Well, that's good.
And there's like these French fried onions that you put on top before you put it in the oven just to warm it. And they are so good. I was like, why don't they sell these as like a chip in a chip bag and as like a snack like that? Because you could easily eat them like that. But I bet you they're terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like I see them in that container. I forget who makes it, but I feel like, you know, you always see it in the container at the store. And I remember back in the day when I started like ring it up and be like, and I would like never go and buy them or find them on the shelves or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could eat it out of the container, but you'd have to use a spoon because they're all like small. But I wouldn't recommend like, yeah, you're right. It's not a healthy thing to do, I'm sure.
Some of them were big enough though. Like they could be chips if they were all that size, you know?
Yeah.
They could be, but I was like, I'm guessing the reason they don't do it is because number one, they'd have to get more uniform sizes so that they're all bigger so you can actually pick them up. And number two, they're probably horrific for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, never mind. But anywho, let's get into holiday season. It's time to start giving gifts and receiving gifts and getting into the holiday spirit. And we talked extensively last year about our strategy for the holidays and what we were doing about decorating and buying gifts. And I think we have new strategies this year. We also want to talk about if we stuck with our strategies last year, anything like interesting that we received or saw as gifts last year. So let's get into it. Tell us about your strategy and if you stuck with it last year.
So my strategy this year, I would say similar to that of last year, right? So I think, you know, last year I mentioned kind of having a theme, giving sort of similar gifts to quite like, I would say the majority of my friends, right? And that's pretty much what I did this year too. So a couple of episodes ago, we talked about, you know, supporting local businesses during, you know, some rough times right now. Lockdowns had happened again here in Hawaii a couple months ago. And I thought that would be a good time to try to help support local businesses because like they needed the help then, right? Like people are probably shopping a lot right now and probably for the next couple of weeks. And so a lot of the gifts I'll be giving this year are small business related. So, and mostly like Hawaii local businesses, right? So yeah, that's definitely what I did this year. Probably super gave away, you know, what people will be getting because I also made a video on my YouTube channel of all this stuff that I bought and that I would be giving. but yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I will be honest though, you know, when Tempsy and I were first planning out this episode, I wasn't really gonna do any Black Friday shopping. Like, I mean, not in person, but online Black Friday shopping. But I did over the past couple of days. I am planning to do a video on basically like a Black Friday haul. So you can check out my channel for that stuff if you want. I will mention a couple things that I bought though this time. Maybe like the, I don't know, higher ticket items, I guess, the bigger savings. So I bought a Theragun. I don't know if you're familiar with those like massage guns. It's like a, I think, you know, if you look online, they call it like a percussive device because it's like massaging like your shoulder, like, you know, whatever, if you, after you work out, like,
Right.
I don't know, your legs, your arms, your back, that kind of stuff. So for me, like, you know, in the past like year and a half, I had been working out with a personal trainer. You know, my workouts are much harder than ever in my life. Right. And something that I mean, I've already known this for a long, long time, probably since high school, but I hold a lot of like tension in my shoulders. Like it's really bad. I mean, I've been told this by like massage therapists, chiropractors, you know, before my trainer was telling me this too. And so I've been like really doing a lot of like neck stretches and that kind of stuff, but to like really get in there because you can't like really massage your own shoulder with your like by yourself.
Right.
I picked up the Theragun. Regular price is like $400. So it was like they had up to $150 off depending on which model you bought. So obviously they're giving off the most money for like the highest model, which regular price I think is like $500. I was like, no, that's too much. So I bought like one step lower, so I saved like $100 on it. It was still pretty expensive, but yeah, that was one Black Friday deal. Yeah, and the other thing I bought was. I know, like we talked about this before too, and I think Tempsy thinks I'm like weird, but I bought another like bedding set because I do use a duvet and I do put a duvet cover on it. But yeah, and Tempsy's like, "What? Who does that in Hawaii?" I'm like, "I do." So there's this company called Brooklinen that I've been seeing like all over my Facebook, like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, like all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I've seen it in other places online too. But I already have enough like sheets and pillowcases and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really like, I'm not thinking like I need more. I mean, yes, at one point I was like, I need more, but really, how many do you need? I feel like two max. Like you take it off, you switch it out, you wash it. Maybe you don't want to wait until the wash is done, so you have another set to put on there. So I mean, I have like three. So this will be like my fourth like full bedding set. I know it's like excessive, but they were having a sale too. I think it was like 20% off everything on their site, which I don't think they do like sales like that too often. And the sheets are supposed to be cooler. Like, I don't know. So anyways, we'll see if it actually is. I don't know, but we'll see if it actually is. But yeah.
Well, some people get different duvet covers for every season.
Yeah, colors, you know, like kind of going along with like the fall or spring colors, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I could see that. I literally, I don't know. Obviously, I just buy things that are blue, but the one that I got is like white with black stripes. Like it's kind of like a, I think they call it like window pane because it's like big squares on the sheets. You know, it's not like a checkerboard where it's like small little squares all over the place. I was trying to not go too busy because I felt like that I would feel stressed out looking at it. So it's like, you know, thin black stripes on a white sheet or blanket or whatever. And it's like big boxes. But anyways, that's what I bought. Did you do any Black Friday shopping?
I did, but it was mostly like stuff that we needed because we just moved.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I tried to do sunblock shopping for gifts, but the things that I wanted to get for people weren't on sale. And for me, once I have my mind kind of set on what I want to get folks, there's not a whole lot of room for flexibility in my mind. So, but the one thing that I did save quite a bit on was the Mana Up. The House of Mana Up was offering some of their like gift bundles at 30% off. And 30% is a decent amount, especially with how much they kind of sell their bundles for. They can get pretty pricey, and for good reason. I mean, they're all local. The only thing that they carry is local small business like items. And so I was able to get quite a few gift, packages for folks out here that I think they would appreciate, but also some folks in Hawaii, like my coworkers and things like that. So that was really great because I was going to order them a little bit earlier, but I was like, well, then they're going to get it too early. And so I kind of held off. And thank goodness I held off because I saved so much money and I was able to actually get them an additional gift. And when you add on like this $5 gift package, and you put in like a little instruction and a note, you can give a note to the recipient, and then instructions to Mana Up, asking them to put everything in
That's
one
good.
gift set. So even though it was like one gift set plus an item, they're hopefully going to put it all together. So we'll see. That was the instructions I put, but I feel like they take a lot of care in what they do, and so I feel like it'll be a really good gift, even if
Yeah.
it's separate. It's not a
Yeah.
big
And
deal. But
so would you
I
say
just thought
that
that
you
would be
followed
good.
your strategy from last year, or did you change it up?
Well, last year, I feel like I change it up a little bit every year. Like last year, I did like this little tin with gifts inside, and the gifts included like cuticle oil and a pen, like a pineapple pen, has a little cute pineapple on it, but it's like rose gold. And there was like from the Target dollar area, like things are like $1, $3, or $5. I got like a little hand towel from there, and I rolled it up and put it inside, and these cute flower magnets. So like I bundled this all together and I think I put it in like a wrap and tied it or whatever. And then I made a couple of those to people I felt like would appreciate it. And so that way it kind of streamlined my gift giving a little bit so it wasn't so hectic. And then there were other people that I got specific gifts for. And then the other strategy from last year was shipping. I guess the years before when I was living in Hawaii, I was shipping stuff like to myself or buying them in Hawaii and then shipping them out. And so that year I decided, okay, I'm going to order from Amazon and just ship directly. And so that's what I did do that last year. And then, but this year, now that we're living in Las Vegas, we are kind of on the opposite end where folks in Hawaii might appreciate stuff from, say, like Trader Joe's. And so families, we're getting some of the best things that we really like at Trader Joe's that we've been like exploring a little bit since we've been here, and we're packaging that up, and now we're back to the post office situation that we were trying to avoid before. But I think it's just because it's our first year here, so we just want to make it a little extra special. But there are some things that I ordered locally that I'm shipping to people in Hawaii, or I've already done it. Or I've shopped locally for people here in the mainland. So locally meaning Hawaii local. So Hawaii local small businesses I still want to support. And so I just did a birthday gift with, for stuff from Value Honolulu. And then I bought like some keiki stuff from Value Honolulu for Christmas presents for nieces and nephews. But like there are some folks that I'm not going to be able to shop local for because, for instance, is like my 11-year-old, he's like my nephew basically. He's not going to like
Yeah, he won't know what
appreciate
it
a lot of this
is.
stuff.
Like, there's
Like,
no connection. Yeah.
yeah, he won't value it as much as I value giving it to him. He wants like
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Vans
yeah.
shirts
Yeah.
or like
Hmm.
Vans or a Hurley shirt. He's getting older, he's getting into clothes now. So we're probably just, once the numbers start going down a little bit more because things are getting kind of crazy, we're probably going to go to the outlets and see if we can get him like more Hurley shirts than we would if we were
Yeah,
to order
yeah.
it on hurley.com. So we can hopefully get him a little bit more of that kind of stuff. So we wanted to shop local, Hawaii local, for the majority of the stuff that we're buying, but there's just a couple of things I'm finding where I'm not going to really be able to do that just because I don't, like I said, the person may not value it as much. But another thing that I got for a few people that I know will appreciate it, like say these people are on diets for specific reasons, was the Maui keto treats. And so I got it for a couple people here on the mainland. And then I just actually thought of one more person who would really appreciate it. So I'm going to make another order there. But Maui Keto Treats, it's like they offer keto mixes so that you can put a couple additional ingredients and you bake it and it turns into like donuts, or, you make it as pie crust or things like that. And so I got a friend the pie crust so she can make pizza crust, so that she can make pizza with her son so that they can have something to do together, right? So that was kind of fun. So that's kind of what I've been doing. But when it comes to Black Friday shopping, again, it's mostly been for house stuff. Like for instance, we bought two Roombas and two robot sharks. Like they're like the same thing, but Shark made them. The brand Shark made them, and we're trying to figure out which one's better. And you know, because the Shark is supposed to have better suction, and but the Roomba's been like the longest
like
standing,
legacy
like,
brand.
go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the places that we got them from have great return policies, and we already know what the Roomba does. So we're testing out the Shark, but we're having some issues with it, so we may have to return it anyway. But then we got them all on sale, so you know, like we'll be able to figure out which one is going to be better for us, and then return what we don't need.
I would definitely say that, like, as far as the shopping has gone recently, for me, when it came to other people's gifts, I mostly shopped from small businesses in Hawaii. And then when it came to like my own stuff, it was just kind of like all over the place. I think because, you know, for example, like a Theragun, I don't think anyone makes that locally here. You know, it's like, you know, that kind of situation. But
that just reminded me of something though. There is this T3 brand. I think you for sure know about it, but they carry blow dryers and, you know, flat irons. I'm sure they carry other stuff, but at Costco once a year, they have this sale where it's usually once a year around this time where it's heavily discounted. And so I thought I had missed it a few weeks ago, but it went back on sale. And so I got the full size blow dryer and the curling iron for like, I don't remember how much. Do you remember how much they normally are?
They got to be around there. Yeah. 150, something like that. Mm-hmm.
So the curling iron was $70 on sale. And then the blow dryer was, I believe, $100 on sale.
I would say it's good.
Something like that. Yeah. So great discounts. And I'm going to wrap them for Christmas because my husband said Merry Christmas. I said, oh, I'm going to wrap them so we have more stuff under the tree and we can just, and you know what else he got me? He didn't know if I would like it or not, but he saw it was on sale at Costco as well, was this like face scrubber. Like you can put it in the shower, it's waterproof, and you can just charge it whenever you're done with it. But it has a brush on the end and it kind of twists, like a round brush, and it twists and it like maybe exfoliates your face or just cleanses your face. And I was like, why not? I'll try it, you know, but I'm going to wrap it too.
You're so funny.
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
But we don't really get each other gifts like that, you know? So
I am,
might as well.
So I do have, Chris and I like went in on half of this each. We split it because it was just expensive. But I'm having something come in and I'm going to make a video on it. So I won't say what it is, but it's a handbag. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, we split it and I don't know. I don't know when it's coming in because it has, there's a customization element to this. So I don't know how long that takes. So we shall see.
Oh, I'm excited for that video.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun. If you guys split it,
was. He's like, oh, I'll get it for you. And I was like, no, I feel like that's unfair.
I can't ask that. That's funny. Do you have any new ideas or strategies?
Yeah, well, things that you know, a new thing is that I'm doing is making goodie bags for my dog's friends at daycare, which sounds kind of, I know, I'm like, what is this? I don't even think elementary schools let kids bring stuff like this to school anymore when it's like their birthday or whatever. I feel like I've heard so many stories about like, you know, there's a lot of allergies, you know, peanut allergies or whatever. And, you know, kids aren't able to maybe share the way that like you and I did back when we were in like first grade or something, right? But apparently dogs do this. I mean, dog owners do this so my dog has been bringing home stuff, you know, he's been bringing home stuff. That just sounds weird. But, you know, he's been getting sent home with little goodie bags for other dogs' birthdays and that kind of thing. So my dad was like, Shelly, you better put something together for the other dogs for Christmas. And I'm just like, say what now? I know. So kid. I have baked dog treats in the past for friends who have dogs, but it was only like 3 to 5 dogs. But this is a full on, like I'm putting together like 25-ish bags of goodies for my dog's friends at daycare. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be like, you know, dog cookies. And it's so funny because, I mean, it's everyone seems to be giving little bags like this, right? Whoever's dog's going there. So it's usually like dog treats, like some kind of cookie or something like that. And like a roll of like poop bags, which is hilarious. But also very useful if you have a dog. I was telling some of my friends who have kids, you know, and they're like, man, I wish we could give like gifts like that to other like parents. Like those are a kid's party favors kind of thing, but that seems weird, right? Like that seems like you wouldn't like go to a party. You'd more like come back with a toy, not like diapers and like, yeah, or something, right? Like,
toilet paper.
but you know, I mean, the good thing about that from my perspective and me being able to do that is like they're cheap. It's like one roll is like less than $1, right? So I went online and I bought like a giant pack of like these rolls. Of course I get the biodegradable ones, but like, you know, I'm like, that's so funny. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'll make a vlog about it, packing these gifts.
That's so cute. What about interesting holiday gifts? Did you receive any or see like any out
Yeah,
there
so
or
I
see other
mean,
people
for
get
me, I
some?
think, you know, in general, I'll say like I have very thoughtful friends. I think it's cool that my friends really listen to the things that I've been liking or things that I've been into. Maybe I just talk about it too much. I don't know. But I have gotten a lot of like eco-friendly related gifts, you know, like reusable Ziploc bags, those like produce, like those drawstring produce bags that you can just wash. I've definitely gotten stuff like that. And things that are creative, like kind of related to creative things that I've been doing. So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine got me, it's kind of like a, before I had my YouTube channel and I only had a blog, she got me like this blog planning book that kind of helped you like brainstorm and like plan content and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. You know, I was like, oh, this is very relevant to like something that I'm working on right now. But a lot of my friends do look for like, you know, dog, Labrador related stuff. I've gotten like t-shirts, mugs, a notebook, and you've gotten me like magnets with Labradors on it. I also have like a phone holder that's like in the shape of probably a Labrador. It's like a dog sitting, and you like you put your phone on his tail area, like the tail like flips up and it holds it there. So you know that I think is really cool.
Cute.
You know, people are paying attention. I've gotten
Except
multiple.
you
So I
have
do have like two
gotten,
of the same mugs. I had a friend who ordered me like a custom mug, probably off of Etsy or something like that. And I had like and Katsu, like our names on there, Shelly and Katsu. And it's like a girl sitting next to like her dog. But yeah, I have like two of the same mugs. I've noticed that a lot of people make things for other breeds of dogs. But although the Labrador has been the most popular dog breed in America for like 20 something, almost 30 years, I think, you know, Labrador owners are probably like more focused on their dog than like the cute stuff that's like cute merchandise that's out there. So there's not a lot of Labrador merch. So I can see how there's like repeats. I'm not, you know, oh, I have two like Christmas stockings that have, it's like the same Labrador hanging out of a Christmas stocking thing. But it's hard to find Labrador stuff for some reason.
cute.
Like Chris has told me to go make something. I'm like, I don't draw. Think I can start a little shop, but right.
You have to turn to custom.
What about you? What kind of cool stuff or different things have you seen or gifted others?
So last year I found this adorable mug, and I got one for like a couple of close friends and then one for my sister. So it says on it either best friend or sister, never apart, maybe in distance, but never at heart. And then on the other side, it has like the state that you're in and the state that they're in. It's just an outline and it's colored in with like pink or blue. And then underneath each state is like the person's name that lives there. So it would have Hawaii and then my name and then California and my best friend's name, or Oregon for my sister. So it was really cute and people really loved it. I really enjoyed giving that to folks because they were like, oh my gosh, they were so excited. And then I found this other mug this year that I really want to give my sister. It says sister on the top and it has nutrition facts. And it says like serving size, one okay sister, amount per serving, one great family. And then it has like the percent daily values. Eye rolling is 1,000%, annoying 500, texting 100%, loudmouth 300%. It's so funny. It goes on, and it's all about the nutrition facts. It even has those like asterisks at the bottom, and it says not a significant source of cleanliness. It just makes me laugh. But when I went to order it, the mug itself is $15,
oh my gosh,
and the shipping is $20. And I was like, listen, I love my sister so much, but I would much rather spend $35 on something else that's like of more value. So kind of sad, but I just thought that was so cool. If somebody has the means and they want to buy that for their sister, just is willing to splurge a little bit, by all means, get that for your sister, because I just thought that was
I know,
so
I'm
great.
always
And it makes
surprised
my
when
sister
there's
perfectly.
like shipping costs more than the item itself. I'm always like confused. I mean, I guess in
So
terms of
crazy.
mugs, I can kind of understand because it's, you know, fragile. You don't want it to break, but still, I don't know, something about it.
I think it's a little more expensive, obviously, because it's custom made and they thought of all these cool
Hmm.
things to put in there. So, but the other thing I really liked was your gift to me last year was from Risk It Design, and you had a custom ornament made, and you put a quote on there from our holiday episode where I said holiday. I think I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast where I said holiday or Christmas is my holiday, and that was so funny. I just thought that was so like on brand, and very
Yeah, the way that
thoughtful. So
I
I thought that was
described
really
it to her
cool.
too, I'm like, can you write like
So
Christmas is my holiday, but like emphasis on on this ornament? She's like, oh, got it. Christmas is my holiday. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Can you?
she did a great job. It was awesome. I'll have to repost a picture of that because that was awesome.
All right, Tempsy.
Okay.
So, how are you on decorating this year? I know you gave me a virtual house tour, and I saw some of your decorations had come in that you ordered. So, why don't you tell us about how you're decorating at home?
Well, I feel like this has been another divisive topic these days. How early are you supposed to decorate? And with the move and everything going on, and I missed all the Halloween sales, how things go on sale right after Halloween. People snatch those things up so fast, you have to be there early morning the next day. And I thought that wouldn't be the case out here in Las Vegas, but it's definitely the case. And so I missed all of the Halloween sales. And so as soon as Christmas stuff came out, my husband knows how much I love Christmas because it's my holiday. And he was like, yeah, let's just get stuff. Let's get started. And because, I have the pleasure of buying new stuff for our home, it was, kind of cool to be able, like, I haven't bought new decorations in 7 years. So it was really fun to be able to like start over with our collection and things like that. And I, because we kind of got it in stages, we started putting things up in stages. And I realized, I'm gonna start doing this every year because we put the tree up and it already has lights. So once you plug it in, it's like, wow, our Christmas tree. And then once we get decorations, we started putting those on like in a different, like a week later. And it was like, wow, decorate like ornaments are on the tree. And then we got a garland to go above our cabinets like the following week. So everything was put up in stages. And so there was a new thing to come downstairs and be excited about, like every week or every couple of days. So I actually think that having Christmas decorations up 2 months ahead of Christmas, I'm probably going to do it every year now. It just brings so much joy. Even though most people are doing it, like the folks that are putting up early, they're probably doing it because this year has just been really tough for a lot of people. And so why not? Why not bring some holiday cheer into your life early? It's not hurting anybody and it just brings you happiness. And so, since I didn't get any cool Halloween decorations because I missed the sale, I started early
Sure.
with
I mean, why
Christmas.
not? I agree. I've been definitely seeing stuff around. Not that I've been like out a lot or anything like that, but I mean, when I go to this store, like even the grocery store, I mean, candies, Christmas themed candies or whatever were already out, like red and green M&Ms and M's and stuff like that. And I had gone into Costco and saw like ribbon, I think, for sale back, not like on sale, but they had it there, to buy back in like October. I think it was before
Mm-hmm.
Halloween. They were selling like Christmas ribbon already. And I think I like to some degree, I'm kind of like, I mean, whatever, do what you want, I know some other people are like, wish they would wait, but I do see how anyone out there might feel like this is the year to do it early just to spread some happiness and make people feel a little bit more into things. I think I did notice like at the mall, decorations had gone up before Thanksgiving and it wasn't like a ton, like they just had started to set things up, so you'd see like a tree here when normally, there's more stuff that goes up at some point, right? It just hadn't gotten to that point yet, which, yeah, I think that is all fine. I don't really decorate at home. This year even more so since Chris and I bought an indoor rower. So where the tree normally would go, an indoor rower now is. So we're like, what do we do? Put the tree in the bedroom? Like that's really the only other option. Um, and
Why not?
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny because we had lights up on our stairs, like I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of like, these vertical, like not bars. That sounds like prison, but on this stairway, there's like these vertical like pieces of wood that go up the stairs. So it's not like this gaping hole and you can't like fall through, right? But we had put lights on it last year and never took them down. So there we go. It's still there now. It's been there for a year. Yeah.
There you go.
I am working on a new background for my YouTube channel because I feel like, it was never fully complete. I was dragging my feet a lot. So I picked up some festive stuff. I figure I could at least have like 4 different looks for different times of the year or whatever. So I have been buying like, little tabletop decor that I can just put behind me and take it down, every 3 months or whatever. So I am going to be looking for a little bit more stuff. I have this cast iron reindeer I told Dempsey I found at like an interior design, like a local store here. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I feel like I need that. And it has like a modern look to it, right? Like, cause it's made out of metal. So it's not like fully detailed. There's not like fur on the reindeer, like how you might find some decorations at like Target or something like that. But yeah, that's all I have so far. I haven't been to this store to like buy much else. I want to look at it first because it's a small space behind me and I can only fit so much back there. So yeah, I just want to make sure it's not like tall and I'm like, that was pointless. You can't even see it in frame of the video. So yeah, I definitely want to check it out first. Yeah.
I can't wait though. I can't wait to see it.
You can't see this. We're on, like a video chat as we're recording this as well. Like it's kind of you can't see it at all, but it's coming together back there.
Well, I'll see it on your videos. That's where I'll see it. But in the theme of the holidays, we wanted to continue to support local. And
yeah, so congratulations to those of you who have listened this far on this episode. You get the details here first. Thank you for listening. We just want to, thank our listeners for following along with us for, a little bit over a year now. Want to spread some of that Christmas cheer. So we wanted to support, previous guests on our podcast here, Camille at Valley of Honolulu. We asked her to put together a gift for us. So she curated these items from her store, a variety of different things like notepads, stationery items, things like that. Check out our Instagram account at The Outright Effect, where you can actually enter the giveaway. We'll also have a photo there so you can see all of the great things that are included in the prize that you can win. So details will be listed on our Instagram page, but basically involves following us on Instagram, tagging a couple of friends. That would be, some very basic details as far as how to enter to win. So check that out. We're so happy to be able to share some stuff with you guys out there because, yeah, we think it's important to give back and thank all of you for supporting our podcast.
100%. I'm so excited. I hope you guys like it. And I'm excited to find out who the winner is, but a little bit more time on that. But I think that's it for us today. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Outright Effect. You can find us at theoutrighteffect.com. Follow us on our social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all at The Outright Effect. You can also reach out by emailing us, theoutrighteffect@gmail.com. See you guys next time.